This is the Royal Enfield Classic 350, and in this video we want to talk about how suitable or not this bike is for taller people, and also go over a couple of things that came up in our review video in the comments section, and we'll talk about that as well.
Now, in the old man's review of the Classic, he said that it's got plenty enough power and torque for the real world, and I definitely agree with that statement. And obviously that's relative to the size of the bike. It's a 350cc. It's not, if you've gone out for a test ride on your Harley Davidson or something like that and then get on this, it's going to feel slow, it's going to feel underpowered, and I think that's one thing I went wrong with when I rode the Meteor, because I came straight off of my bike. I was then comparing it to that, so obviously up a hill it's not going to pull up as well as something with loads and loads of torque. But in the real world, in the country lanes, this thing is at home, it really loves them, and you don't really need to cane it all the time. This is something that you can enjoy the scenery of, enjoy the fresh air, the smells around you, and just have a good time and take everything in, rather than going so fast you can't even see everything because it's all blurred. This is the kind of bike you just relax and enjoy the scenery. The Classic 350 shares many similarities with the Meteor 350, and I think if I was choosing between the two, this is the one I would go for. I prefer the styling of this. It is more classic, it is more simple, and for me this kind of pulls my heartstrings a little bit more than the Meteor did, and I did really like the Meteor. Another thing that I prefer on this is it's just got a normal toe shifter, whereas on the Meteor you had the heel shifter as well, and for me with my big feet I found that it kind of got in the way and meant that I could only really use the heel shifter to go up a gear, which wasn't a problem, but for me personally I prefer a toe shifter.
So the question is, in this video mainly, how good is this bike for taller people? Now, I'm 6'2", and you can judge by looking at me on the bike how it will fit you. I think the riding position is lovely. I like the fact the pegs are there and not back here like on a lot of bikes. I can't stand riding like that. So the peg position is very good. The arm reach is good too, so you're not sort of cramped up like that. And I find overall the riding position is very good. So I would say up to 6'3" or 4, you'd be okay on the bike. Yeah, it's small, it's got a short wheelbase and everything, but you'd still be able to ride it perfectly fine. It's not as big as the Harleys and the Indians and the BMW R18, nowhere near. But the actual riding position is pretty close. So that's the main thing really. And the question in your mind would be whether you want the bike to look bigger underneath you, or if you're quite happy to have a compact bike. But it seems to be okay to me that I could recommend this for people at my height, 6'2", from 6 foot to 6'2" would be absolutely fine.
When you're sitting on this bike, I'm 6'1", and again for me this is a very comfortable riding position. My feet are in a very comfortable position, my hands are stretched out, so yeah, I really like the riding position of this bike. And coming onto these bikes, and especially the Meteor as well, you originally think, oh, that's going to be a bit small for me, but they're not, which is definitely good for us taller people. And comparing it to a Triumph Bonneville like the T100, personally I don't like my feet being slightly further back like that. I much prefer a position like this. When your feet are a little bit further back, it kind of pushes your balancing point slightly further forward and it squashes your tomatoes a bit, so this is much more comfortable. When I watched the old man's review of this bike and heard the exhaust, I thought, wow, that sounds really good. It surprised me actually for a 350, and obviously with the mic setup, it does make it sound as good as it possibly can. So when you go and test ride one with a helmet on and everything, you're not going to hear it as loud as a mic would because it's not got a helmet on top of it. But saying that, when you do get on this bike with your helmet on, you do still hear the exhaust, and it does have a lovely tone, especially when you shut off. It's got some burbles, a few little pops, so it sounds really nice, and it's not overly loud, so you're not going to annoy anyone, but it's just got a nice tone, so you don't really feel yourself thinking, I wish it was louder. I just think it's a really respectable, nice, enjoyable noise for everyone. comments on our previous video of this bike saying that they felt it was too heavy. Personally, I disagree with that. I think it's very light, but that's, you know, my personal bike is over 100 kilos heavier than this, so it will feel light to me. But all the parts on this bike are such good quality. Pretty much everything is metal. They could have shaved some weight off by doing plastic mud guards and things like that, but most of it's metal. You'll struggle to find a plastic part on this bike. You know, maybe this little light housing here, that's plastic, but I can't find much else that is. So you've got these great quality parts which make this bike look and feel a lot more expensive than it is, and that, I think, is a compromise I'm happy to make. Dogs approve of this bike, so that's a good thing. If you've enjoyed the video, let us know down below. A little bonus review for you. We thought this bike was so lovely, we had to revisit it and do another video for you. I'm gonna put them down now, it's getting heavy. So leave your comments below what you think of this bike, if you agree with the points we said in this video, and if you've got one, let us know how you're getting on with it.